problems. I love it. All right, so let's get started. Hi, I'm Carrie Anthony, also known as PlatinumPuzzy, 12-year veteran in the adult industry and the BBW genre. And here with me...
Hi, I'm Ella Darling. I've been in the industry for 7 years. I'm the world's first VR cam girl and the queen of VR porn.
Woo! I'm the queen of BBW, so it's only fitting that we're on our thrones as the queens of two very awesome genres.
I'm also the president of the Adult Performer Advocacy Committee, which is an organization that represents adult performers. The goal is to give performers a voice on set and off set.
Right, absolutely.
So that's what we do.
So right now, the whole purpose of this interview is there is a Prop 60 going on in the state of California. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So Prop 60 is essentially a big damn problem. There are three aspects to Prop 60. The first is the one that people generally focus on. It mandates condoms in porn in the entire state of California. The second, which is what I find to be the most problematic, is that it allows any California resident to, essentially, if you watch a porn and there's no condom, or if there's even a single frame where you can't see the condom, you can then file a complaint with Cal OSHA. Cal OSHA can dismiss it, or if they don't have enough time to get around to it. Basically, if they do anything except to take action on it, you can then sue the entire production. Anybody who has a financial stake in the production is at risk. There's even an aiding and abetting clause. So that could implicate internet service providers, the hotels who provide porn, the places where you buy porn, everybody, the hairstylist, the makeup artist, the camera person, the person who owns the house where you shoot, every single person who has a financial stake or helps create this pornography.
Whether knowing or unknowing.
Exactly.
Right.
There is language in it that is supposed to exclude performers. However, since performers, as you know, are so often also producers in their own right, or even if they're not producing, let's say you shoot a porno, then you go on Twitter and you use your affiliate code so that you make money when your fans buy it, you now have a financial stake in the film beyond just being a performer.
Or even just an affiliate who's promoting the porn.
Exactly.
Oh,
if you
wow.
so
that really ties in a lot of innocent people that are really unaffiliated with the movie.
Absolutely. If you're a performer and you shoot for a company, they give you some free DVDs and you sell those at conventions in California, you're liable. If you are a webcam performer and you perform with a partner, you're liable. If you produce your own content, if you do customs, if you have a clip store, you're liable. They wrote it claiming that they are excluding performers. The fact of the matter is, performers have a lot to lose if this passes, because when you take someone to court, there's a lot of information that's disclosed in the courtroom.
Correct.
Your legal name, your home address. Those two things alone are what make this so scary to me. There's a guy who found out my legal name, and he used that to find my mother's work phone number. And he calls my mom at work to harass her. Now, thank God my parents know what I do and they support me.
Right.
But what if they were my support system? What if I needed, their help financially, or emotionally, or in any way?
Or what if they didn't know?
If they didn't
your mother, who's innocently at work, doing her job, and gets the phone call that her daughter is a porn actress.
Exactly.
And now, your whole life is in shambles because now you have a frantic mother on the phone calling you with this, I thought you were a blogger.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, who knows what people tell their family and friends what they do, but essentially it's not their place to share that with your family. That's your job.
Absolutely. Outing a sex worker is a serious offense. And furthermore, we are one of the biggest employers of GLBT individuals in the state. So what if you're gay? What if you're doing gay porn? What if you're a trans person and you're not out to your family? And they obtain this information, they find your family, and they out you. Or they just get your information and they out you in general. Like, this could have so many big implications that are really bad for us. And the third part of this proposition would give Michael Weinstein, who's the head of the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, the one who is proposing this whole thing, it would give him a permanent position as an agent of the state in California. He would essentially have a blank check to spend taxpayer money enforcing this, flying all over the country, or flying all over the state, all of his travel expenses to go to porn sets and make sure that this is being enforced. He would be the enforcer. People call him the porn czar. It's kind of what it is. Now, my question is, okay, let's say you hate porn stars. What if you don't give a shit about my privacy and my family? What if you think we should be using condoms? Well, how much of your taxpayer money is an appropriate amount of money to spend inspecting porn stars' genitals to make sure there's a condom? Like, how much money do we think is the right amount of money to spend sending Michael Weinstein around to porn sets to make sure that there's a barrier?
Wait a minute. So, how perverted is it that somebody gets the job with this blank check and taxpayer money to go and inspect genitals?
I mean, essentially,
on porn sets? Like, really?
They're like, he's enforcing the condom part of it. So it's like, you're gonna come in here and just make sure there's a condom on that penis? Like, dude, why don't you go help people who have HIV? Like, who are you serving? They've spent millions of dollars on this. How much service could be provided to the HIV community with millions of dollars that they've spent trying to police porn sets? It's absurd. So it's a violation of privacy for performers, and most performers are going to be liable. As president of the APAC, we've estimated about 75% of our members are also producers, in that they run their own sites or they do clips and stuff. All cam performers in California who perform with a partner are liable. Even if you're using a condom, they could still allege that you're not, or say, hey, look, there's this frame of this performance, right. And even if it's dismissed, they've still gained access to your private info. Getting a lawyer, retaining a lawyer for something like this is a lot of money, and a lot of performers would never be able to afford to defend themselves if they had to against one lawsuit, much less a barrage of them that could feasibly come up.
Which means for people that are experiencing issues with other performers, or like it starts a pointing game.
Exactly.
And this is our method of earning an income. Like, we're just trying to survive. Like, we're not hurting anybody. We're not. And honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to the whole like condom laws, I think it's absurd as well. But because I feel like majority, like, why don't we police civilians? We don't go to a club and say, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to go home with this guy because you don't know him and you're probably about to have sex with him without a condom. Which civilian and off-screen activity is far more dangerous than on-screen activity because we have something to lose. Our reputation, we have a career, the ability to work, our financial stability.
Yes.
And I mean, let's face it, once you get even a rumor that you have something, like you're done.
You're hurt.
Yeah, like you're already in the ground. Like they're already having a funeral for you and everything. So it's like, you know, we have a lot to protect. We have a lot to lose. So for us, being tested is very important. Being protected is very important. And our choice not to be protected is based off of our choice to check records, which is our responsibility, to check testing, make sure that everyone's current and up to date, and, you know, being tested at proper testing centers as well.
I want to expand on that because I don't know what the people watching this video might not know some of the nuances of our industry.
Right.
So we get tested as a porn performer. In order to work at all, you have to be tested every 14 days by a certified facility. We get tested for HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, Hep B, Hep C, and trichomoniasis. And we use the best tests available. When you go to your walk-in clinic and you get tested for HIV, and they do it for free, they're testing for the antibodies of HIV, which can take up to 6 months to be detectable. The tests we use are called an aptamer RNA test. So it tests for the actual RNA of the virus. That's like the DNA of the virus, right? So it tests for the existence of the virus. Now with HIV, day 1 of contraction to day 17, 18-ish, your viral load is so low that basically giving someone else the virus is very, very, very unlikely. Around day 17, there's what's called the viral bloom, where your viral load just goes up exponentially. But we use tests that detect the virus within that period, thus weeding out potentially infected performers.
Right.
And as a result, we've not had a single case of HIV transmission on a porn set in over 12 years because of this test. Another interesting aspect of this is, okay, so who's going to be the people that are actually bringing about these lawsuits, right? Like, who's actually going to go to all the trouble to do that? Well, this law creates a cottage industry, which would incentivize people to do this, because if there are fines levied against us, the person who sued the production retains 25% of that. So you could ostensibly create a small business just suing porn sets, because you get money from it at the end of the day.
Wow. So they're monetizing the extinction of porn.
Yes, they're monetizing harassment. And it's a law that it's broad government overreach couched in rescue rhetoric, trying to save us when we didn't ask to be saved. They create a lot of false information about the incidences of HIV on porn sets. You can say, oh look, this person contracted HIV while they were working in porn. But just because it happened during the period in their life that they were porn stars doesn't mean they got it on a porn set.
Correct.
To contract HIV, there has to be someone who is HIV positive to give you HIV. If everybody that you've worked with in porn is HIV negative, and in many cases still performing to this day, you didn't contract HIV from them.
Right. It was your off-screen activities
Exactly.
that led to you contracting HIV.
Exactly.
Correct.
And HIV is, that's not a fun situation. Anybody who has HIV has a lot of challenges, and I feel so deeply for them.
Right.
But spreading dishonest information doesn't help anybody. It just hurts a lot of people.
It does. It destroys lives. Like, you know, it's crazy. So, well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for talking to me.
And more to come on Prop 60, so stay tuned. Bye. Oh, and we're live at BBWCAMHOUSE, by the way.
Which is now in virtual reality.
Virtual reality! Yay! So check us out, Cam4, BBWCAMHOUSE.com, and Ella Darling.
Thank you.
Thank you. High five.